What's up, YouTube? Thomas L here with the new film Flosky opening this week. Since the film stars Seth Rogen, I decided to do my top 10 favorite Seth Rogen movies. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan, and he's been in some really funny and great stuff over the years. So that being said, here's my list. Coming in at number 10 is the film The Green Hornet, which is of course based on the classic TV show and stars Seth Rogen as a character named Britt Reed, who's like the heir to the largest newspaper fortune in Los Angeles. He's of course a spoiled playboy who has been who has of course been happy to lead a aimless life. And so like after his father, played by Tom Wilkinson, dies, Brett meets Kato, played by Jay Chow, who's of course a resourceful company employee, and so of course they join forces. They of course get into costume and fight crime, and of course they face off against like a powerful criminal played by Christoph Waltz. Cameron Diaz is also in this. Green Hornet is really funny. I mean, I really like the chemistry between both Seth Rogen and Jay Chow. They were both great in this. Too bad the movie didn't do all that well, because I will love to have seen another one, because this movie was really fun, and it was funny, and I know they're supposed to be like doing like like another Green Hornet, but just without Seth Rogen and all, but I would love to have seen Seth Rogen back. When they announced that Seth Rogen was gonna play a superhero, I was like, really? That's kind of weird to see, because you know, because Seth Rogen is not really that much of a superhero type actor, but he really nailed it as a Green Hornet, and I really love this movie. If you guys never seen it, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 9 is The Interview. Now, in this, James Franco, of course, plays the character Dave Skylark, who, with him and his producer, are played by Seth Rogen, are behind the most popular tabloid TV show named Skylark Tonight. And so, after learning that North Korea's Kim Jong-un, played by Randall Park, is a huge fan of the show, they they successfully, set up an interview with him, hoping to legitimize themselves as actual journalists. Now, this movie had lots of controversy when it got released, like because there was of course the Sony hacks for this movie, and there was like the threats of North Korea, and yeah, it was a funny movie, but boy, this movie was very controversial when it got released. But anyway, the interview was really good. Seth Rogen and James Franco, those two work together really well. There's also a funny cameo by Eminem. Joseph Gordon-Levitt also had a funny cameo in this. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg also directed this together. They did a great job at directing. The interview is really great. If you guys never had a chance to check out the interview yet, I highly recommend it. And also, Randall Park as Kim Jong-un, that was perfect casting right there. And not to mention, you also had Lizzie Kaplan. She was terrific. Really funny film. Alright, coming in at number 8 is Sausage Party. This movie was an R-rated, raunchy, animated film. I mean, it's pretty much a film about talking food who curses, and they have like there's an orgy scene that happens in this movie. I mean, yeah, there's an orgy scene that happens with food. I'm not going to go into any details, but if you guys seen Sausage Party, you know what I'm talking about. And it also had a pretty good voice cast. Like, you got Seth Rogen, James Franco was in this, Micah Cera, Jonah Hill, Salma Hayek, Craig Robinson, etc. I mean, the list goes on and on. The voice cast was really cool here. And of course, Seth Rogen voices the lead character of Frank. This movie really had me laughing. It is funny from beginning to end. There are some very cringy moments, like I'm at the orgy scene, that was a little too cringy. But it's a really funny R-rated raunchy fest. And yeah, I I'd be down to see another one though. I mean, I think the film did pretty well to warrant a sequel. So if they ever announce a sequel to Sausage Party, I'm down to see another one because it was really funny. All right, coming in at number 7 is Funny People. Now, in this film, it stars Adam Sandler and Seth Rogen, and in it, Adam Sandler plays a comic named George Simmons, who finds out that he's pretty much dying, and so you got Seth Rogen plays a struggling stage performer named Ira, who decides to become George Simmons' mentor. And so, like, they of course become close friends as George, teaches Ira the art of stand up, and Ira, of course, helps George find his legacy. And you, of course, got Leslie Mann as an old flame who reappears in George's life. And of course, George wants to try to reconnect with her, but of course, she ends up having a husband played by Eric Bana and 2 kids as well. Of course, Funny People was directed by Judd Apatow. And by the way, the 2 kids are, of course, Judd Apatow's and Leslie Mann's real life kids. So there's like a family reunion in this. Anyway, Funny People, it's a straight up comedy, but it had lots of heart than you expect. Like, for a movie called Funny People, like I said, it has comedy in it, but there's lots of dramatic moments in this. And Seth Rogen, I thought he gave an amazing performance here. Now, I liked his chemistry with Adam Sandler. They were both terrific in this. Leslie Mann was great. Eric Bana was terrific. Oops, sorry. Anyway, and it also had some funny cameos. Like it had cameos by Eminem, who also had a cameo in the interview. So anyway, it also had cameos by Ray Romano, Sarah Silverman. Not to mention Jonah Hill is in this. Jason Schwartzman. Some really good cast members were in this, and yeah, Judd Apatow did such a great job at directing this film. If It's probably maybe my favorite Judd Apatow directing film, probably. But if you guys never seen Funny People by now, do yourself a favor, check it out. It's a really funny film, and if you, it'll also show you how much of a great actor Adam Sandler could definitely be. And yeah, Funny People is definitely a really funny one. All right, coming in at number 6 is The Night Before. Now, in the film, it of course features lifelong buddies played by Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie, who gather on Christmas Eve to celebrate the holidays with a bang. And so, as Isaac, plays by Seth Rogen, prepares to become the first-time father, the friends realize that their annual tradition is coming to a sad end. So they decide to make this Christmas a year they won't forget. Night Before is hysterical. It had a pretty funny cameo by Miley Cyrus. Her cameo is pretty good here. Like she had like a Wrecking Ball duet sing with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which was pretty decent. Also, Lizzie Capel was also in this as well. The movie was also directed by Jonathan Levine, who directed Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie 50-50, and he also directs Seth Rogen in Long Shots, which comes out this week. But The Night Before, I really like the chemistry between Rogen, Levitt, and Mackie. They were all great in this. It was a really funny little film. And you also had Jillian Bell, who plays Seth Rogen's wife in this. She stole lots of scenes. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best modern Christmas movies we had in recent years. It's a really funny one. It's raunchy. It's definitely a fun Christmas movie worth checking out. All right, coming in at number 5 is I'm just gonna go with it. I'm going with the Neighbors movies, both 1 and 2. I really love Neighbors 1 and 2. They are really funny. I mean, in the first film, Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, of course, plays a couple who moves into a suburban town, suburban area, and living next to them is pretty much a frat house, and they of course gotta try to get rid of them. And of course, the frat people are led by Zac Efron. Then we got the second one where Zac Efron actually teams up with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne's character to take down a sorority. So yeah, yeah, both films are really hysterical. You know, I really liked the interaction between Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. Those two really work together pretty well here. And Rose Byrne, she was great. Ike Barinholtz hosted lots of scenes in both films. And not to mention in part two, you also had people like Chloe Moretz, Selena Gomez, and a few other folks. Yeah, both films I really enjoy, and too bad part two didn't do all that well because I'd love to see a part three. I know Zac Efron and Seth Rogen actually poke fun at maybe do a part three, but with zombies or something, but that probably would have been dumb to me, I see. But both Neighbors movies are really fun, and if you guys never have seen any of them, there's like the jokes are just great. You know, the uh, the actors are really awesome. They're both movies are really awesome to watch. Coming in at number 4 is This Is the End, which was of course directed by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who also did the interview. And in it, James Franco of course plays himself, who's like throwing a party with a slew of celebrities. Of course, one of which is Seth Rogen, and of course, other celebrities includes Jonah Hill, Jay Baruchel, Danny McBride, and Craig Robinson. And of course, the end of the world happens, where it pretty much kills lots of the other celebrities, like Rihanna. Pretty much took the cake. Kevin Hart. I mean, I don't want to go into much details because I don't know how many people still haven't seen this movie. But This Is the End is hysterical. There's also a funny gag with Emma Watson in this. I mean, whoever knew that the sweet girl from Harry Potter could have a foul mouth? Yeah, Hermione curses in this. And yeah, This Is the End is it's really raunchy. It's hysterical. You know, I mean, all the actors who, of course, play themselves were all just great at playing themselves. Yeah, this movie is a really funny film. And it got released in 2013, and this movie is going to hold up from years to come. It's a really great, funny film. Like, if you guys never had a chance to check out This Is the End yet, I highly recommend it. It's a really good one. Coming in at number 3 is Zack and Mary Make a Porno. Now, this movie is probably my favorite non-James Bob Kevin Smith movie. Zack and Mary Make a Porno is hysterical. It actually has lots of heart to it than you expect for a movie about two people who want to make a porno. Because really in it, you got lifelong friends who are now roommates, played by Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks, who are buried under lots of debt. And so when their like electricity ends up turning off, they decide to pretty much make a porno. That's pretty much what they decide to do. and it's really good. I mean, you got people like Craig Robinson was great in this. Fellow porn star Katie Morgan was in this. Yeah, Kevin Smith, he did a great job at directing this, and it shows that he could do more than just movies like with Jay and Silent Bob. Like I said, this is my favorite non-Jay and Silent Bob movie Kevin Smith has done. It's a really hysterical film. It has good performances by Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks. Those two, I mean, crazy that they haven't done movies since, together since. They both had great chemistry as Zack and Mary, and it's a really funny film. Like I said, it has some heart to it. It has lots of laughs. Jason Mewes, of course, still lots of scenes with us. Really awesome film. And if you guys never seen Zack and Mary Make a Porno yet, check it out. It's a really good one. Coming in at number 2 is Knocked Up, which is of course directed by Judd Apatow, and it stars Katherine Heigl as a rising journalist who hits a serious bump on the road after a one-night stand with a slacker named Ben Stone, played by Seth Rogen. And of course, she ends up being pregnant, and they decide to. And of course, Seth Rogen's Ben character is unsure if he's ready to be a parent yet. Anyway, this is a really good one. I mean, it's probably one of Katherine Heigl's best work, really. Katherine Heigl is really great here. I mean, sometimes she could be hit and misses once in a while, but in this one, she was a hit. And it had a really good cast, like Leslie Mann and Paul Rudd was in this. They, of course, went on to do a spin-off of this one, which was called This Is 40, which was really good. I really liked This Is 40. Anyway, Jason Segel was in this, Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill. Really good cast. Knocked Up was a really funny film. This movie also had lots of heart. It was a cute little film. Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. I mean, it's a shame that they haven't worked together in the movie since Knocked Up. They did a great, they worked together really well here. Such a funny film. If you guys never had a chance to check out Knocked Up, I highly recommend it. It's a really good little film. And the movie got released in 2007, and the movie still holds up today. It's a really good one. Alright, my number one favorite Seth Rogen movie of all time, that's going to Pineapple Express. Another movie that stars Seth Rogen and James Franco. Those two work together a whole lot of times. And this is probably their best collaboration they had together. I mean, and of course you got a lazy core process clerk and a stoner, Dale Denton, both played by Seth Rogen and James Franco, who of course has only one reason to visit equally lazy dealer named Sal Silver to purchase weed. Of course, Sal is played by Danny McBride. And so, anyway, Dale, of course, becomes the only witness to a murder by a crooked cop and the city's most dangerous drug lord. Both are, of course, played by by Rosie Perez and Gary Cole, and of course, they're on the chase to get Seth Rogen and James Franco. I mean, James Franco and Seth Rogen both had funny chemistry in this. You also had Craig Robinson, was great. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, but I remember really enjoying it. I think 2008 was a really cool year for Seth Rogen. He had both this, he had Zack and Mary. Nice year for Seth Rogen, if you ask me. Anyway, yeah, Pineapple Express it's such a funny stoner movie. I mean, of course, almost every Seth Rogen movies, it'll feature Seth Rogen doing weed or something like that. And this movie is, of course, no exceptions. Now, Seth Rogen and James Franco, those two are pretty much some of the best stoners there are. And Pineapple Express was also directed by David Gordon Green, who did a pretty good job at directing this. Emma Heard was also in this. She stole lots of scenes. Really funny film, and it's a shame we haven't got a sequel yet. I mean, the movie got released in 2008, and weird that Seth Rogen and James Franco and Company never decided went ahead and did a sequel. Unless if you count their parody sequel in This Is the End, but I mean an actual sequel. But yeah, Pineapple Express it's gonna go down as a comedy classic. I mean, such an awesome, funny little film, and if you guys never had a chance to check it out, I highly recommend it. Pineapple Express is just plain old awesome. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, The Green Hornet. 9, The Interview. 8, Sausage Party. 7, Funny People. 6, The Night Before. 5, Neighbors 1 and 2. 4, This Is the End. 3, Zack and Mary Make a Porno. 2, Knocked Up. 1, Pineapple Express. Now, there's lots of other Seth Rogen movies I probably could have added. Let me pull up a list. I'm actually really looking forward to hear Seth Rogen as Puma in the Lion King movie. I mean, he's a little like we heard a little bit of his voice, but I'm really looking forward to see him full talk as Puma. Anyway, he was good in Superbad. Observe and Report was really funny. I mean, that movie got released the same year as Paul Blart. He was great in 4-year version. I keep forgetting he was in Dying Darko. The Disaster Artist was pretty good. The Guilt Trip, the movie that paired him with Barbara Streisand, was a good one. Steve Jobs, the movie Paul, where he voiced an alien, was pretty good. Kung Fu Panda was pretty good. Yeah, he's been in some really awesome stuff over the years. Of course, he got his big break on that show of Freaks and Geeks, and since then he's been in some really good stuff. Whether he's acting in it or producing, Seth Rogen is just, to me, he's the best. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Seth Rogen movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Thomas L. signing off.